What is up, everybody? So I'm having a bit of an issue, and I was wondering if you guys could help me out. I'll be headed to a customer's house pretty soon here, and they have a really nice tank, and you'll see what I mean in a second. But I'm not quite sure what else to put in it. I have a lot of things going in my mind, a lot of options, a lot of different ideas. I really want to make this tank really stand out. If you guys could help me out down in the comments, any suggestions I would greatly appreciate, because I have some ideas in my head, but not 100%. So the last couple of fish I put in this tank, I really want them to kind of have presence. But before I do that, I want to share with you guys an office tank that we do. And I'm really proud of the way this tank has come along, but it also needs a little bit of a help too. A couple more suggestions. It's pretty full, but it just needs a little bit more. I went there yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw you guys to that so you guys can see the tank, and then if you have any suggestions, also put that in the comments. I'd greatly appreciate that. So let's head to the office tank now. So I'm here outside of the company right now. It's really, really busy, but we're gonna go inside and I'm gonna show you guys this really beautiful corner 90-gallon aquarium that they have right there in the lobby. Now this tank's been up for probably close to 6 or 7 years. We've been probably servicing it about half that time. Without further delay, let's go ahead and go inside and check out the aquarium. So here we are inside, and it's a beautiful tank right here in the very front of the office, right by the front door, right when you walk in. It's one of the first things you notice, and it's looking really good. I mean, look at this hammer coral right here. It's grown so much. It's huge, it's big, it's out. Now I have the whites on, but there are some pallies there and right there. Those look really, really good under blue lights, but they're growing really well as well. Blasto is looking amazing. That was only like 3 or 4 heads. That's really taken off. Another hammer coral over here. A bunch of Euphilia coral in this tank, and they're all doing really well. Different types of Euphilias, different color contrast to them. Leather coral in the back with some star polyp that's I just put in growing on the back wall. Hopefully that can take over pretty soon. We have a Cyanarina over here and a big giant colony of acans. That was actually one that I personally grew that started off with only 2 heads, believe it or not, and it has just taken off. And then a nice beautiful green orange mushroom down here on the bottom that was recently put in probably about a good month ago or so. But all in all, everything looks pretty clean. There's our puffer, our little reef puffer right there. He's chilling, always out and about. Probably when they only fish it is out and about. You can see the sailfin tang hiding underneath that, in that cave there. There's a bunch of fish in this tank. There's a decent amount of fish in this tank, but they're all kind of hiding. See, there's a blue hippo tang that's popped its head out. But if they all hide as soon as you get close to the aquarium, what's the point of having them? Now, I'm doing about a 50% water change today, but while I'm going ahead and doing the water change, let's just take a look at the filtration real quick. It's kind of bunched up in here because there's not much room in here. Gonna do some cleaning down below, but it runs on an Apex system, which does allow us to control things remotely. Now, if you look closely at the Cyanarina, I had to move it off the ledge where it was because it was getting stung by that hammer coral. If you look to the right, you can see that area where it got stung. So we'll put him in the sand and hopefully he can recover. But he was over there, if you remember, on that little ledge right there, doing great until that hammer just got too big and started to sting him. So hopefully next time I come back here, which is in 2 weeks, that Cyanarina will have recovered. But we got a lot of growth in this tank. All right, so I'm really loving that aquarium. I love the progress it's made since we started servicing it. And because this video is asking you guys to pick what fish and coral should go into the aquarium we're going into next, I'd also like to know what fish and coral you'd like to see in this aquarium next. Hopefully I can talk to the owner and we can set ourselves a budget to get some really cool stuff in there, because although the corals are doing great, it could use a little bit more color, some yellow, some red, something like that, and definitely some more fish. But now I'm headed to the next job and I'm going to need your guys' help big time, because this tank, you'll see it in a second, it needs some life. It needs something special, and I need you guys' suggestions. Now I'm gonna lay some ground rules while we're there, but let's go ahead and head there right now. And here we are. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that there is no real coral in here. This is all fake coral. We did not design this system. This system was already put in place before. We just service it. But let's start by everything's doing really good, but let's start by pointing out what we have in here so far. So we have a coral banded shrimp right there. Awesome. I think it's a really good addition to this tank. We have a blue hippo tang, clownfish, a bunch of different variations of damsels in here, and that is it. So I love that little naked clownfish right there. But that is all of the fish that we have in this tank. Now they're all damsel type fish. They're all relatively aggressive, although they get along with each other. So we need something that's going to be able to not be able to get picked on too much and bullied a bit. So we need something that's going to be able to hold its own for sure. Now this tank is only so big, so we can't have anything too big. The customer doesn't want anything too big. There's not a lot of flow in the tank. You can see up top there. So keep that in mind. Now here's the other side of the aquarium. Again, like I said, it's fake coral. It's not real. We have no intentions of putting real coral in here. The customer does not want it. So it's a fish only system. So it can be a fish that is not reef safe, because this is a fish only aquarium. It's a relatively clean tank, as you can tell by the urchin on the bottom there. It's starved to death because there is not enough algae in this tank. We keep it extremely clean. Doesn't need to run lights crazy. But we need something that's going to be able to fit into this style of aquarium. Now, we also need a fish that's going to be able to eat pellets, because this is an automatic time feeder. We're here twice a week, and it needs to be a fish that can handle pellets, because the customers do not feed. It's on the only feeding it's getting is when I'm here and I feed it some frozen, but the other 5 days a week it's getting nothing but the pellet food. So it's got to be a fish that can do well with pellets. I do have some ideas. Maybe some type of dwarf angelfish would be kind of cool, but I'd love to hear from you guys what you guys would think would work very well in an aquarium this size, and given the fake coral and the tank inhabitants, what you guys think would work well. Now, as far as the filtration, let's take a look at it. Simple wet dry. Let me put the lights on first. Hold on. So here's the filtration. We have our filter floss section over there, just a protein skimmer. It's relatively simple filtration setup, nothing too crazy. Protein skimmer, return pump, all that stuff. So the filtration isn't like anything crazy. It's relatively simple. So it's still a very pretty aquarium. Even with the fake coral, it's still a really attractive aquarium. And I think getting some brightly colored fish, and again, our options are open because this is not real coral, so we can do some really cool stuff. So I would love to hear your guys' opinion. Remember, feeding's an issue, size is an issue. She does not want anything too big. Appropriate size fish given this filtration and tank size. And remember, it feeds on pellet food, so I need some good ideas. Please put them in the comments. All right, I'm back at the shop now. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Any suggestions, whatever it is, I greatly appreciate it. You saw both the aquariums. Let's really try to make these special. Let's make these unique. Let's make them really pop. And then we got the tanks exactly where we want them, in their show tanks. Let's really make these memorable. And then I'll do a video down the road once we have all the fish in, and we can see how it looks. All right, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.